Oh man, the music stopped. It is Friday, November 22nd. I am Brannon, so this is Success Never Sleeps. So we as a collective, in particular, martial arts school owners, try to figure out this thing called life. I think the joy of owning a small business is you can determine the wealth that you can accumulate, the growth that you want to have in your business. You can design it. You're the architect, right? You're the leader of the band. You're the conductor in the orchestra. It's such a rich, wonderful place to be, but make no mistake, it's one of the most difficult choices, careers, job, whatever you want to call it, to maneuver. But I'm committed to it. I'm committed to you, the small martial arts school owner, and I am grateful to serve this podcast, Success Never Sleeps, to you every week. Let's begin by thanking our sponsors because they make this possible. Tusa, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting, and Kin Creative. I use all of these services. I know the people involved in every one of these companies on a very personal level. I believe in them. They impact my business. And for me, I say it all the time. I don't want leads. I don't want trials. I don't want students. I value relationships, and I have very personal relationships and business relationships with all of these services. If you need great martial arts supplies, go to Tusa. You want a great website? Go to Market Muscles. You want an amazing CRM system? Go to My Studio. You want the character development and life skills education component? Go to Kids Love Life Skills. You want bookkeeping? Go to LC Accounting. And if you want Facebook ads, digital marketing, Instagram, Google, YouTube, go to Kin Creative. Cool? So we just got off our It's Time group mentoring meeting. I want to invite you to that. It's a very powerful group. I love it because we've created something that is not only impactful, but affordable for the average small school owner. And we know we're doing good work as we're witnessing the growth and the changes in what we do with these schools that we work with. I see that. Everything that I see from these consulting groups is, we're going to show you how to sell. We're going to show you how to sell. We're going to show you how to sell and market and sell. But I find, and this was the end of our It's Time group mentoring meeting, I said that the heart and soul of what we do is we teach martial arts classes. The byproduct is that's where we make the majority of our revenue. Is that not true? Stop and think about that for a moment, right? Beyond day camps and birthday parties and parents' night outs and the different things that we do, don't we generate the most revenue from martial arts classes? Absolutely. So that's where you would be putting a bulk of your resources into curriculum development and into staff development and staff training. Absolutely. Yet, so many people in our industry do very little of that. And so many of the marketing gurus don't promote that part, right? And what I think I love most about what I'm blessed to do is I wear a lot of hats and I wear them well. Curriculum design is an art. I love curriculum design, and I've done it for karate, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, kenpo. I've done it for a number of systems. So I really love curriculum design. I've got Roland Osborne to thank for that. When he introduced me to rotating curriculum 15 years ago, maybe now, and I saw that it was art, like writing music or like writing an article or like cutting a film back in college. It was right up my alley. And I got it. It made sense to me. Why does Apple put so much money into developing their products? Because that's where they make their money. So the research and development, the product design. Imagine if we were still on Apple iPhone 1. There'd be no Apple, right? It's the same thing here. What version are you on your curriculum? Are you on 10.0, 12.0? What version are you on? Or are you teaching the same old thing that's been taught to you by your instructor and by his instructor, and as noble and romantic and nostalgic as that sounds, you could keep the heart and soul of it, but the need to grow, the need to better it is the key to not only sustaining your business, but growing it. So curriculum design is a big one for me. And that's why when you get the chance to work with us in the It's Time group mentoring, we will work on your curriculum. We will work on your school and the layout. We will work on your brand. We will work on your marketing. We will work on your mindset. Oh man, that's a big one. That's a big one. So I think that's what's neat about working with us at It's Time group mentoring. Now, I just wanted to toot the team's horn because we just had a very impactful group call, and it's just very cool. Very cool what we get to do. Bob Poole, Goals Martial Arts. What's happening, Bob? How are you today? So today's a Q&A. We're going to turn the spotlight on you. We're going to turn the spotlight on you, and we want your questions. And at the end, we'll have a digital drawing. The winner gets a consulting with me for an hour. Get to hang out with me for an hour, and we can work on your business, your mindset, your life, your wealth building. You tell me what you need to work on. And fortunately, being a serial entrepreneur and small business owner, I am well versed. And I'm so well versed, I fixed the toilet the other day. I'm so well versed, I fixed the pocket door in Millbrae one day. I mean, that just comes with what I do. And I'm cool with that. Because if you want to succeed in business and life, there's nothing above you and there's nothing below you. And if you work with that mindset, you're willing to do the things, as I say, successful people are willing to do what unsuccessful people are not, right? Within values and your moral compass, but you have to be willing to do the dirty work. I walked in last night and the bathroom was so dirty in Millbrae in between classes. So locked that door behind me, got to work and I cleaned up that bathroom before I went back out and taught. And that's just what you should do. Cool? Hey, James. How's it going, James? Post the latest and the greatest. I saw the video. I have faith. I think there's a way. You and I need to talk and let's see what that looks like. But Resilient Martial Arts. Love the brand. One of my most favorite rebrands was Resilient Martial Arts. Good man. And I believe everything is going to work out. It's going to work out. Who else is here today? Remember, everything's about questions. The spotlight's on you. The spotlight's on you, on you. I want you to put in your questions. Everything's about answering today, so that I make sure that I give you, the people that support Success Never Sleeps, the type of love and attention you deserve. Cool? And in our It's Time group mentoring, just as a carryover from that, we really talked about revamping curriculum. You should always be reviewing your curriculum. Keep it fresh, keep it new. Maybe once a year, you can change up the warm-up. Once a year, develop 3 new drills for a certain stripe. Once a year, add another component. And we're looking at that more and more and more with what we do. But make no mistake, I love Kenpo. We keep what are called the key dances. And that's what Great Grandmaster Ralph Castro really lean into, keep the key dances. Everything else around that, I feel this ability to be fluid. Fortunately, Kenpo encourages that type of add your own 2 cents. It's a progressive art, so it's very cool in that capacity. But I want to be mindful that we're relevant. So whether it's adding a little grappling, and the neat thing about that, I'm not a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I only did 4 years of it, but there are basic fundamental techniques across all jiu-jitsu platforms, which can truly, truly enhance your curriculum. Something as simple as maybe an armbar, right? Something very, very basic, a rear naked choke, right? A shoot and taking a guy down. There's really basic things that I believe we can implement without having to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You with me? So put those questions in. So what do we got? Ask a thoughtful question. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Bob Poole. Do you do curriculum videos for basics? Yes, absolutely. We do curriculum videos for everything. We live in a YouTube, TikTok generation. And so it's super important, Bob, that we have that support. And I remember back in the day, yeah, it wasn't too far ago. I've only been doing curriculum videos steady for about 20 years now. A parent says, in between classes, what should my child practice? Well, we're doing Ripping Tiger, the third attack. It's against the right punch. You do a grab block, you chop to the ribs, move that. And mom's looking at you like, the teacher in a Charlie Brown special. Wah, 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 wah. You didn't serve them well, Bob. You're running back on the mat trying to teach. And this kid is going, I don't know what he wants me to practice, Mom. So we eliminated that. You can look up right now. It says up on the wall. Review, makeup stripe, testing. Red stripe 5, brown stripe 6, because, we're testing out. But normally it would say something to this effect. Yellow stripe 1, learn week. It's up on the wall, Bob, right there. So a parent can look up on the wall. Oh, we're on learn week. So I understand my child's not getting a stripe this week. Very cool. Very cool, right? Then what should my child practice for the next class? Well, we keep it right up there for you, ma'am. It's right up there. Visibly, it says Learn Week, yellow stripe 1. Oh, hold on. What the hell do I do with that? Right? Well, All you got to do, ma'am, is you take your phone, you click here, right? You go into our My Studio website, and then you simply click on the books in the lower right-hand corner, click on level 1, and do yellow stripe 1. And of course, we organically promote that, Bob, through social media, through emails when they sign up, so they understand that there is a path for their child to practice. Now, here's the kicker, which I just shared with somebody in our It's Time group mentoring. I shared that my challenge with the majority of curriculum videos I see out there, Bob, are performance videos, right? Somebody said, well, this is my curriculum video for this Boom Say. I said, well, my first challenge is you sound like you're in an echo chamber because you're what? 15 feet away from the camera. So please get a mic. Get a mic, okay, Bob? Get a mic. A Rode mic is perfect. I've got a basic Rode mic. Great, great investment. It's nominal, a couple $100. Then, when you create this curriculum video, make sure you are a mirror. We did a mirror up through year 2, then we changed back the other way. I'm going to go back and get every video as me as a mirror. As a mirror. They learn better and faster. They just do. And now with, you can simply flip the video, right? In editing, Bob. Just make sure you're not wearing a logo that said Gold's Martial Arts, because now it's flipped in the video. Before that was invented, we would, Bob, literally. I'm sitting there going, okay, punch with your right hand. And I know this is my left hand. And so I'm a mirror of them. You with me? So that became a very important variable. And then we also understood, and here's the philosophy with this, Bob. It's been taught to you in class. So what are the fine points they need to go home and get better? Now, at the end of the video, here is performance, right? This is performance. We even have it written out now. TJ did it so well. There's learn, drill, perform, right? Perform is testing. And this is how you have to perform it to actually earn your stripe. And then that's a demo video, Bob. But it's all within the same instructional video for that given stripe. You with me? Yeah. And so even that is an art form. I'm very big on the curriculum videos. I think they offer a lot of value, but it could be a huge miss, Bob, if it's not done right. Cool? So as you're coming aboard, say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Everything's about you today. Q&A, spotlight on you. Spotlight on you. If you post a question in there, you're entered into a digital drawing, and you could win an hour of consultation with me. Good time coming to the end of the year. It's a good time to review things, whether that's rebranding, whether that's curriculum design, whether that's your class schedule, right? Whether it's sprucing up the school. We're doing that right now. We're painting. We're taking care of a bunch of stuff, especially when we're closed for that week or so during the holidays, right? So put your questions in there. Put them in. And while we're talking about that, we just came off our It's Time Live Purpose event, which was really awesome. 20 school owners as far as England, as far as Canada. It was just so amazing. So amazing. So it's already inspired us to set the next date, November 8th to 11th. And this one I'm proudly to call It's Time Live Freedom, helping you create the freedom you deserve. Why own a small business if it doesn't work for you, right? You work for it. So my theme is going to be It's Time Live Freedom. And I'm really excited to put together the curriculum, the learning experiences for you. Only 20 school owners. You should be doing your 2025 calendar now. This should be on your calendar, and you should be signing up today. Today, not tomorrow, today. Cool? All right. Keep your questions coming, and tell me your name, the name of your school, where you're tuning in from. So one of my biggest takeaways with Dave Kovar at the It's Time Live Purpose event, and Dave Kovar does our instructors boot camp, was he said he was, doing one of his boot camps, and the gentleman said to him, I've been teaching for 40 years. And Dave said, oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Tell me more. Well, I'm stuck. I only have 80 students, and it's always been that way, since I pretty much started. He said, well, here's something I want you to think about. I don't know if you've been teaching for 40 years. What I would challenge you on is, it appears to me you've been teaching for 1 year, and you've simply done that 40 times. And it's just stayed with me since its time, life, purpose. And what Dave was saying, Hanshi Kovar was saying, is you suffer from a fixed mindset. That's it. And you haven't bettered your curriculum. You haven't grown your staff. You haven't, improved your experience. All you've done is the same thing year in and year out for 40 years. And that's what he was sharing. And I think that's very poignant, because I think what happens is a lot of people become great martial artists, but they never become great martial arts instructors. That's a rough one, I know. But with all humility, I understand there's a skill set to being a great instructor and a skill set to being a great martial artist. Two very different things. And my rude awakening was when I earned my black belt. I was 17, and my papa looked at me and said, "Go teach." I mean, go teach. I don't know how to teach. You're a black belt, go teach. And so I was pretty much thrown to the wolves. And you can't do that with with anybody. You shouldn't do it anyways, whether it's back then or now, right? All right, trial by fire, throw them to the wolves. Okay, that's a great way to lose a valuable team member. So to develop staff training, to develop a path to go from taking attendance, greeting people, and tying belts to running a full class, that's about a year and a half, easy of training every week for 45 minutes. And we're not training in martial arts. We're training to teach. We're training to speak. We're training to be a level 5 leader. Those are the things we train on. So again, it's not glamorous, but as I said at the top of the show, we generate our most revenue from teaching martial arts classes. So you need to take a chunk of your resources, financially, time-wise, and everything, to create those curriculum videos, Bob, to design your curriculum, to train a team. Even if it's just you should be training on becoming a better instructor. Right? So I find that huge gap is why people are often very stagnant in their business, and the average martial arts school owner doesn't get beyond 75 to 100 students. You can do that with a personality-driven business. It's just a job you created for yourself. But if you want to grow that into 300 students, into 2 locations, 3 locations, you need to know it takes systems, and it takes a company people want to work for, and it takes a clear path from being a student. How do I become a full-time instructor? How do I become a partner in a location? How do I make that advancement? All those things are part of that criteria. And nobody in our business, for the majority, never get to that. Very small percentage, very, very small percentage get to that level of thinking, because it is a mindset shift. I have to shift from being a martial artist to being an instructor. 2 different skill sets, 2 different trainings, 2 different everythings. And to get from being a great instructor to a successful small business owner, a different skill set, a different training. And becoming an entrepreneur, again, another skill set. Cool? So as you come aboard, say hello, pop a question in there. Will you be coming out to the East Coast in 2025? You never know. I'll be in Canada in February. The end of January, February 1st and 2nd, I'm up in Canada, in Toronto. So that's about as East Coast as I get right now. Who knows? Maybe I need to fly down to Woburn and do a day seminar in curriculum development. Ooh, that could works for me. So we'll think about that as well, Bob. We'll think about it as well. All right. What's your questions? Put them in. Put them in. This is often a hard one for people, because often Black Dragons. Yeah, with the Kin Creative team. Yep, Bob. It's a Kin Creative event. And from what I understand, if you're part of Kin, you're one of our partners, that event is free to you. It's free to you. So take a look at that. Or if you're not one of their clients, I don't know what they would charge to have you come up. You come up. Black Dragon, never give up. Marty with the really neat hairdo. That's a good look for Marty. I really like that. I get it. We want to stay in our wheelhouse. So marketers simply use marketing terms that data has proven get more people to sign up for their service, right? That's it. So 30 students in 30 days or money back guaranteed, right? Here's a sales script. But for me, and what we've really explored, working with Kin Creative for the past year and a half, is the story I tell in my school needs to be told in a Facebook ad. I can't do that with a stock photo. I can't do that with stock copy. It has to be written, for a demographic, and it has to be bold. You can't just start everything with whatever city you live in parents, right? You can't. It's played out, right? So eventually it's going to saturate and get fatigue. So can you open with, would you like your child to, the new one I worked on was every parent is looking for that gift to bring a smile to their child's face. Give them that and more, with the smile that comes with earned confidence and believing in yourself. See? So something like that, something unique and different that really creates that connection with people is what I'm all about. Jesse! Hey, sir. What's happening, sir? Happy anniversary. It's your second anniversary, right? Or you just came off of that. So put your questions in there. I need more questions because I can talk forever. But today is about you, putting the spotlight on you and helping you. And so going back to that, I get it. Everyone sits in the classroom and the teacher says, ask a question. Nobody wants to give the answer because nobody wants to look dumb. No, nobody wants to give the wrong answer. I'm the kid in the front row before she ever says, what's the answer to this? And my hand's up like this going, why? And I'm asking her questions. I'm asking her questions because the question she's asking us may not give me the answer I need to grow as an individual, to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, right? To have the courage to revamp my curriculum, to admit that my name sucks and I need to rebrand, right? My commitment is to a purpose, live your best life. So I had no challenge changing it from One Health and Fitness, which was the first name of the school, to One Martial Arts. Crazy, right? I imagine this East meets West gym with Qigong and Tai Chi, a juice bar, and acupuncturist on site. You're not doing that in the district we're in 2,200 square feet. Never, never, ever, never. And I got tired of people calling saying, do you have lockers and towels? One Health and Fitness, right? I don't know what I was thinking. But the minute I changed it to One Martial Arts, I bore down. The only part of that I got right was the word one, the most used business acronym for excellence. We're number one, club one, card one. There's so many versions of one, medical one, the one, right? So that much I got. But the health and fitness part, bad news. So when it went to One Martial Arts, everything became hyper focused. People knew what we did, and it was a good day, right? What's the question? Can what? Okay. Can you use the caps for one class or break it up? Of course you can. But do I believe you should challenge your team to do caps in one class? Absolutely. So it's a carryover from the It's Time group mentoring, right? CAPS is an acronym. Maybe Marco will put it in the comments. Knowledge, accuracy, power, and speed. Okay, write it down. So when we're taking a technique, let's say it's a front kick, right? We all do some version of a front kick, right? What is knowledge? Well, I'm going to teach them, right? Bend the knee, kick with the ball of the foot, those different things. And you can't say rechamber. It's not age appropriate. It's not skill level appropriate. Getting a kid to kick with the ball of his foot, not an easy day. So doing something like, okay, we're going to walk around the room on the balls of your feet. This is a front kick. Then they move back on their heels. This is a back kick. Then they move back to the ball of their feet. This is a front kick. Even that. So muscle memory gets when I'm up on the ball, it's a front kick. When I rock back on my heels, that's the feeling of a back kick. And that's the contact point, the heel, right? So that's knowledge. Teach them how to do it. If I want you to bend your knee, I'm going to hold up a plastic ring and say, don't kick the ring, kick the pad on the other side of it, or the Wave Master bag. They will automatically bend their knee, kick the bag, retract their knee, and set it down. You don't have to say rechamber. See, so that's when we talk about that knowledge. We're also creating drills within that, a subset of drills that allow them to know the technique through drilling, through muscle memory. They don't need to know all of this counting and kanji and all the rest. I want you to throw a good front kick. Don't touch the ring, kick the pad, right? No, you must count in, this foreign language, and you must say rechamber and all the rest. Again, I think it defeats the purpose for what you're trying to achieve. Accuracy, it's a no-brainer. If you're saying a front kick to the knee, then knee, groin, throat, wherever the technique goes, use a little smaller hand target, right? Because there's less room for error, and you hold it where they need to kick it. That would be an accuracy drill, right? Okay, power, no-brainer. Use the Wave Master bags. Use those big kicking bags, do line drills, throw a front kick, run to the end of the line, throw a front kick, run to the line. I wouldn't have one kid do 10 kicks because the line's standing there going, right? So you want to make sure that those types of drills are fast. That is power. They could break a board. That's power, right? You could hold a kicking shield. That's power. And then, of course, speed. Again, go to the front kick on that Wave Master bag. I've got a pull noodle like this. When you go to kick the bag, I go like this. So if you don't retract that kick or rechamber it quick enough, guess what? Boom, boom. I'm going to get your leg. So there's power, there's speed. So because we all agree, at least I do, that what makes a great martial arts technique? Knowledge, accuracy, power, and speed. So I should be able to do all of that in one class. I really should. I really should. It might be one drill for each, right? But that's okay. Do we always get that far when we're doing something like a pumse or in our case, a kata? Probably not. Probably not. We won't cover caps. But if it's a fundamental self-defense combination, jab, cross, front kick, absolutely. You should be able to cover all four things in caps. Cool? Good knowledge for the day on that one, you guys. Because again, curriculum design is everything. Next question, Marco. Okay, my question, when you do a team training on systems, I know you do live training in a class and have the system written out in a binder. Do you also provide a video-based training for a system for your team? Good question. Okay, because we don't teach virtually and they've spent the majority of their time studying our curriculum videos, instructional videos, I prefer to do that training in person. But will I do a team training, Jesse, and then turn around and cut a video after and pop it into Slack? Absolutely. I've even had team trainings where I go live in Slack because, you can record a video right into Slack and tell them, okay, I'm going to get this one. Then you guys watch it later. So it's that kind of organic based upon whatever group that we're moving through the instructor's training experience, Jesse, the ones that we're moving through, that's what it's based upon. But we have a structure. I mean, as you know, everything's written out into a system. It's written into a system. But all of our staff training, I would say 99% is done in person. Because what are we delivering now? It's an in-person product. I don't think any of us, majority, are not doing virtual anymore. We don't do virtual. We have 3 or 4 private lessons now, and that's it virtually. Everything else is live because that's what people will pay for, right? In the world of TikTok and iPads and cell phones, I'm going to double down on humanism when it comes to servicing people, right? That bar needs to be high, and it's so refreshing. It's so refreshing if everything's kiosks and some AI generated thing bringing out my food. I even went to a Japanese restaurant, a little robot pulls up with my food on it. So people are going to pay a premium, Jesse, for what we do, a premium. So to train my people virtually will not be as effective as training them live. So that's our choice on that. But make no mistakes, we want to utilize every learning tool out there, Jesse, that works for kids. So, if I have 17, 18-year-old team and I say kids because I'm 62, I'll text them. I'll send them a video. And I'll send them another video and another one. I'll call them on the phone and FaceTime them. Whatever tool is needed. Because one thing I've learned about the way people, Michael J. Fox said it really well, Jesse. People, if they don't learn the way you teach the way they learn. It's the same thing here. I want to help my team be successful. So I need to ask questions. What do you think? How do you like to learn? Some people like videos a lot, but I don't want that to be the only avenue. And again, just to solidify that, in our case, I want to train you live because you're not going to be teaching people virtually. You're going to be teaching them live. But have I trained the teams from San Francisco and Millbrae virtually? Yeah, we can't get them all in the same room, Jesse. Just doesn't happen, right? Good question. Good question. Next question. Put it in there, folks. Put it in there. So another thing at King Creative we really thought about and I felt inspired by was, a lot of people are pulling up the bootstraps and saying, "Hey, I'm waiting for January," and it's kind of like July, right? It's kind of like that July and August. We're just waiting for back to school. Well, a lot of people waiting for the new year. I say, nay, nay. I say, put your foot on the gas. I wrote a bunch of new scripts with Amon and Landon, and we're working on them so you can have ads dropping on Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Black Friday started today. Can you believe it? People are moving it back a week. That's why every year, man, I could have swore I saw Christmas decorations in Costco in freaking September, side by side with freaking Halloween. It was a trip, right? There you go. So you want to get people early and often, and that's why I'm so big on the pre-K and kinder program we created, Excellent Kids, the one that's taking them a little younger, but it's full parent participation. Oh, I just wrote an ad for that one too for Kin. You might need that, Marco, for your Excellent Kids class, Focus Kids. So I'm really mindful of that. The majority of my resources go into curriculum development, curriculum videos, staff training, payroll, right? I'm really, really big on that because without a great team, without all of that, there's no way you're going to succeed. And somebody asked me about that, and I think that this is a super, super, super important. I'm very fortunate to have TJ and Lucas as my two leads, right? They're brothers. They've been with me since 8 or 9 or 10, 11, somewhere in there. And to have somebody that grew up there as a black belt, number one. Number two, have been teaching for better part of 15 years, and they're only in their 30s. And number three, they're really smart guys. They're really, really, really smart. They could have chosen other paths. So I need to be competitive. That's very important. And we often will heal ourselves saying, when we get to 100 students, I'll pay you this. When we get to 150, I'll pay you this. When we get to 200, I'll pay you this. The challenge for that culturally is I'm now a salesman, right? It's like that in the fitness industry. You get this really low base pay, then you work on commission. The fear that comes with the uncertainty of commission to pay your bills is just that, fear. So we don't want that culturally. I want to pay you top dollar. Now, what is that top dollar? Is it the same as a PE teacher or a personal trainer? What do you think that is? Right? What do you think that is? And I want to be mindful of that. Extremely mindful of that. So my top tier guy's in 6 figures. He should be. We have a 401k. We have a medical siphon. We have vacation with pay. And I love it. I'm questioning when they take vacations. I say, right on. Do I need to teach? What do we need to do here? One of my guys just went off to Japan for 2.5 weeks. Go, go, go. Right? Go. And he's doing it now before one of our guys go on paternity leave. So I'm saying if you honor their life outside of your business, right, and don't look at it as an inconvenience because I have to come teach or we're short one staff member, then they will honor your life within that school and that business. They go together. They go together, right? Happy team equal happy customers all the time. Cool. Karth, what you got for me? Hey, Karth. What we got from Karth, Marco? Marco, are you there, Marco? See, sometimes when I talk on tangents like this, I know Marco just goes like that. Oh, there he is. Yes, pushing the gas. Yep. Self-defense seminar this Saturday and Black Friday offers. Cool. Right on. Yeah, we're not big on cash outs, but we do it at this time of the year for existing members because we raise our tuition in January. And they know that. I mean, we're letting right now, everybody knows tuition goes up in January. It's been being promoted since November 1st. So we allow them. It's the only time of the year we take checks and things like that. Not my favorite thing to do, but again, the long-term students will happily buy a year paid in full at the current tuition and avoid the ACH fees by simply giving us a check. Okay. Cool. So talking about the end of the year, so we have new scripts with Kin, right? They're really good ones. I'm so excited, but we won't know they're great until we test them, and we're testing them on One Martial Arts right now. But we're asking everyone to get the footage. So we got some fresh new ads that are going to run hard through December. One of my favorites, you'll love this one. Why wait until the new year to get in the best shape of your life? We have a pair of gloves and a bag waiting for you in our One Fitness kickboxing classes. Take a class on us and see why people have been getting results for over 24 years. Boom! Right? I love it. I love it. It's good stuff. So we have all our ads so we can push hard. I'm not going to take my foot off the gas. No way. We're going to push our ads. Much like you, we have a black belt testing, which is so important during this time of should I pay for another year at this tuition rate, or am I going to keep paying with a tuition increase? That's huge. We have belt testing, whole school belt testing in December, because our belt testing falls according to the school schedules. That's super important. You want to make one improvement right now? Organize your curriculum and belt testing around spring break, back to school, and the Christmas break. That's where they should all fall. Cool? All right. Well, before they take that break. And so we have that. Then, of course, retention. We just finished the Halloween party. We have fall camp next week, and it's moderate. We have like 22 kids in San Francisco, and it's about $100 a day. We have 22 kids for 3 days in San Francisco, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we have about 15 in Millbrae. Not a lot, but it's an extra added value for people that work and need that. And I won't be surprised if we pick up more over the weekend, because when you can book by the day and you just want a day to prep for Thanksgiving or go shopping and all that, it's a really good, really, really good thing. So we have that, and then we're closed Thanksgiving through Monday, until Monday. And my guys need that break. We deserve that break. We used to be opened, we only closed 11 days out of the year. Now we close Labor Day weekend, but we're not closed. We have the big Art and Wine Festival. We have the break for Thanksgiving or the break for Christmas. We take a week off. And I found that's really important for my team. Super important for my team. Cool? Miss Monique. No, Miss Moweek. Miss Moweek. See, now you're forever immortalized, Miss Monique, in this podcast. Success never sleeps. Everybody knows when you see Monique Washington Jones from Karate for Girls, she is better known as Miss Moweek. You've been dubbed. Jason Smith, what's happening? Believe Martial Arts, Chipley, Florida. So that's a big one for us right now. Inventory, right? For your taxes. You got to inventory everything out, get it to your bookkeeper, your tax keeper. That's a big one. Scheduling in family time with the holidays. That's a big one. School maintenance. The fact that we're going to be closed for a week, some of the bigger projects that can happen, any construction, painting, changing out toilets, things like that can happen during those breaks, right? We just had 2 new air conditioners installed before the rainy season, and we had to work around. They were working on Sundays. We never missed a class. After school room was not inconvenienced, because the band has to play on, right? So that was big. We'll have a holiday party at both locations. That's a great retention event. The thing about that, and I want to share this with you, is do not use it to sell stuff. There's a time you got to put down that and just simply serve people. And our holiday party will have Santa Claus. Santa Claus will be there. We'll have, I call them selfie stations, but there'll be 5 or 6 backdrops: Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Santa, reindeer, all these different backdrops. And I'm going to explain this because I'm going to tell you how well this works for us. Arts and crafts going on, right? Table filled with sweets and treats. We're going to do Christmas caroling. And of course, they're neutral songs. We're not going to sing, Come All Ye Faithful, but we will sing Rudolph and Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Frosty the Snowman, stuff like that, right? That's a highlight because nobody does that, where you get to sit with your kids and sing songs. And the kids all get up there and they hold a little paper and, it's like doing the kindergarten Christmas show where you watch your kids sing, right? Ever do that one? I know we all have a version of that. But here's why this is working so well. Let's see, I shared my thoughts. last one we did was the Halloween party. And I looked at it. We got 11 reviews in San Francisco, 6 reviews in Millbrae at Google. But I just looked. We had like 7 reviews at Yelp. At Yelp. Yeah. 7 reviews at Yelp for San Francisco, and I think 8 or 9 for Millbrae. Really good. So how did we make that happen? Well, we have a big drum. San Francisco's got the drum that turns like this. Millbrae, I got a ballot box. We're going to change it. Millbrae, I'm going to get that handle thing like this, Marco, where it turns the tickets. We're going to put it right in the middle of the floor, against the wall, against the mirrors. But every 10 minutes, we're drawing a ticket. We're drawing a ticket. And I bought some stuff at Target, right? Hickory Farms, $25 gift card to Starbucks, to Trader Joe's, to Target, all these things in grand prize. Maybe we'll do something a little more because it's the holidays. We give away a week of camp or a premium birthday party. Maybe we'll get an e-bike or something like that this time. I don't know. And then what they do is they go to these different backdrops, they take a picture and they post it at social media and they tag us on it. So this whole party, and people are so used to it, right? When I went to Universal Studios, it was raining one day and we went to a selfie museum. And I'd seen them before, but I'd never been in one. And it was pretty fascinating. Everyone's taking pictures at these different backdrops and 3D looking things. And it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So we do that. And every 10 minutes, we're drawing. And one of the things we have is a QR code up on the wall, goes straight to Google. And they can scan it, leave us a review, and they get 5 tickets for that. So it's a win-win. It's a retention event. We make sure we hit some really good touch points, like, Halloween, we did a Halloween parade. We brought all the parents on the floor. They stayed in one dot and they did different drills with their kid. That was really, really awesome. We had an arts and crafts project. We gave the best costume. So we don't miss those things. But through the whole party, people were taking these pictures. So social media exposure-wise, we had a huge presence that day, as we will when we do this holiday party. You with me? So that's been our pivot with that. And it's starting to really, really take hold. People look forward to it. They dressed up more at Halloween. I might do an ugly sweater contest, right? What a great way to take a selfie with an ugly sweater. Those Halloween ugly sweaters. Make note of that, Marco. I think that's a great one. Got to tell my wife, let's do an ugly sweater contest. So again, it's a retention event, but done well, it can also be a marketing event for you. That's the point I'm trying to make. Because if they don't want to do it, they don't have to. They don't. They can do arts and crafts, drink some hot cocoa with marshmallows, sing the Christmas songs, play the games on the mat, and never take a single picture. And some don't. We don't force it. We just let them know next drawing in 10 minutes, the more tickets you have in there, better chance you have of winning, right? And I've got this one family that wins 2 or 3 prizes every time, but they're click, 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 click. They're shooting the whole time. Who thinks that's pretty cool? Put it in the comments. And remember, everybody that posts a question, you're entered into our digital drawing. We're entered into a digital drawing where you can win an hour of consultation with me. Do. Come on, give me another question. You know me, I'm a poet. I can talk for days. I want to hear it. Tell me what you got. What's the next question, Marco? All right, so we're waiting on that, and then the other thing I'm doing is I'm reshooting curriculum videos, right? As I shared, Bob, that's going to happen when we're closed. I'm going to go in there and crank out some videos because they need to be done because we start a new cycle in January. So I'm having Marco working on our titles. They got to match our old titles. I want to come as close to that as possible, and we'll get it done. I've got the camera equipment. I've got the ring. I've got everything. I just need to get in there and get it done. But, we've been really trying to solidify this curriculum. But, when the day's done, You know who it's on? Me. Me. Because everybody has ideas, but somebody has to man the boat, right? Somebody has to make that decision and somebody has to do it. Just, it's got to be done, right? It's got to be done. So that's another big project. And in there, me and the family's going to Disneyland. That's another project. In there, me and Braden got 3 Warriors games. And that's another project, right? It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And somebody asked me, when are you going to retire? I said, retirement's for people that don't like their life, right? When I heard somebody go, only 5 more years to retirement, only 5 more years. Oh, man. I don't think I ever wake up saying that. I love what I do. And I love the freedom that it offers me. And it allows me purpose, right? Why is the Clint Eastwood in his 90s is still making movies? He wants to keep the old man away. I just heard Ridley Scott did another Gladiator 2, and the guy's 86 years old directing Gladiator 2. Why? Purpose. We all need purpose. And that's why it was themed. Our last It's Time Live was purpose. If you have purpose, you don't work a day in your life. If you have purpose, you have no need to retire. I don't want to sit on some beach. That doesn't make any sense to me. But again, you have to decide your version of success, right? All right. What's Bob's question? What video editing software do you use for the curriculum videos? There's a lot. There's a lot out there. I like iMovie because remember, all you're doing, Bob, is a 1-camera shoot like this. That's all you got to do. Sometimes people get creative and they go to a split screen and there's a shot above their head, or they're doing a technique in the split screen. You show a close up of their fist. Do you do that in the class? No. You just need a clean, flat shot like this, Bob. Good camera on a tripod. All you need to edit in is an intro and an outro. That's it. This, you should be able to do in one shot because it's very much like you teach a class, right? In many ways. So software-wise, I think iMovie's fine. Some people use Final Cut. I know at Kin we're using DaVinci. Keep it simple. There's some apps out there that will do just as well, but get the desktop version. Don't sit there editing on a freaking phone. Please don't do that, right? And depending upon what you have now, I don't know what they use for PCs. Marco, is anything, iMovie's fine. Again, just take a quick tutorial. I don't need to be a master of iMovie, right? I need to go in, maybe put a limiter on the voice so I don't get any background noise. I need to put an intro introducing the stripe. I need an outro, and that's it, right? I might run it through a filter for color correction, something as basic like that. But remember what it is when the day's done, right? It's not Transformers. It's not Avengers Endgame. It's what's called an industrial. It's like the training videos they do for companies. You want it to be clean and well produced, but it doesn't have to be this crazy thing. And when you show me 3 different views of this in block, it's not necessary. And it's confusing when I see 3 split screens. So what mitigates that, Bob? You going in very, 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 can I say it? Very, 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 very clear on what it is that's challenging about that technique, right? And if it's the rechamber on a front kick, I'm going to drill again and again with numbers. 1, bend your knee. 2, kick. 3, bend your knee. 4, put it down, right? That's, I think, the bigger thing. I've even watched really well-produced stuff, and it looks like an episode of Power Rangers. I was just waiting for the theme song. I'm going, this is not an instructional video. Yeah, but it'll get the kids excited. But they won't learn the stripe, and they're going to quit. So be mindful what these videos are for and who you're serving them to, right? So I think that's the more important part, but there's tons of stuff, Bob. I think what you need to do is experiment and find out which one you like, right? At Kin Creative, we like DaVinci. I use iMovie. I've even used CapCut, right, on my phone. It's a template. It says put in 6 videos. I put them in and they edit them. But for what you need here, it's just one clean shot. And that's the hard part. Someone's recording this 2-minute instructional video, and it should never be more than 3. Please, never, never, never. Never, 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 never. Because then you're just elaborating on something they probably don't need at that point in their training, right? And so it should be no more than 3 minutes. I'd like to keep it down to 2 if at all possible. Depending if you're teaching a form or something different, it might take a little longer. But the biggest thing is go in there knowing how it's going to be done. Rehearse it, Bob. Rehearse it. Go Cool. Yeah. Marco uses Adobe Premiere. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the standards, right? It's just some of it can be really intimidating and overwhelming when you open up the software and there's 50 million screens and pens and this, and you're like, what the hell? So taking a good YouTube tutorial or even going to a Reddit group and asking somebody straight up, or go to Fiverr. I need a tutorial. I don't work with videos. I want someone that I can Zoom with, I can screen share and teach me how to use this thing, and be very clear what you want it to do. That to me would be a hell of a lot faster than a YouTube video. Cool? Yep. Yeah, around 2 minutes, man. Seriously. Seriously, because if your Stripe takes longer than 2 minutes to explain, right, in a learn week, earn week, then it's probably too much curriculum, Bob. Way too much curriculum, right? Now that'll change as you get up into year 3 and year 4, naturally, because they can comprehend more moves, right? Easily. But that's a different animal. That's a different animal. But especially where the attrition's heaviest from day 1 to month 18, we're simplifying that curriculum even more. We just have to be confident we're going to design enough drills in that class where they won't think they're doing the same technique for 40 minutes, because they're having so much fun working on the knowledge, working on the accuracy, working on the power, working on the speed. You with me? And that's the art of great teaching, right? Bruce Lee said it. I don't fear a man that knows 10,000 kicks. I fear a man that's done one kick 10,000 times. So it's the same thing here. Can you take one technique and drill it 20 different ways in a 40-minute class? Can you do that? Where they feel like they're always learning a new technique. Every time I train, I can do my white belt requirements, Bob, and find something new in it. That's because I approach it with that type of wonder, that type of newness. And so when I create a drill, I make sure every time they do that drill for one technique, there's a newness to it. They're discovering something different about it. And if we need to add an element like fitness, all right, you're going to do 3 jumping jacks, 3 burpees, jump up and do 3 front kicks. The third one you key eye on. Sure, add a fitness component, right? Add in a teamwork component. This line, face this line. Who's going to kick the fastest? Who's going to kick the strongest? Who's going to kick the most correctly? And who's going to kick right to the solar plex, right? I work capped into a team drill. And I'm awarding points to each team, depending who knows it, who's accurate, who's powerful, who's strong. See? So I think, but we have to trust that. We have to really trust that less is more. And if you want to really, really think about it, if you've ever been in a tournament or a real street fight, you don't use 50 techniques. You probably use 2 or 3, at the most 4, right? Think about that. So that's my passion about that. Cool. All right, next question. And if we don't have any more, we're going to start wrapping this up. Marco's going to find a winner who gets an hour with me on the phone so I can make you crazy. So, one of the big things I share, and it's nothing against any other consultant, please. I just want you to be mindful of that when I make that statement to you. It's just, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. I think it's super important to come to the plate with a very clear vision, or at least an idea of who you are and what you want to do, so you seek out the right information. And for me, a great consultant does not simply teach me how to run Facebook ads. And I think that's what's unique about Kin. We will also teach you how to design a trial. We will teach you rotating curriculum. We'll teach you how to brand your school. We'll teach you how to communicate your brand message. I think that relationship is very important, because if we simply run an ad for you, but what's in that ad is not consistent with what's at your website, is not what's consistent with your Google business page, is not consistent with your Facebook or your Instagram or anything like that, it breeds distrust. So whatever's in a Facebook ad, make sure it's relevant everywhere else, because it is the first, introduction they get to you. It's the first impression. And believe me, if I'm scrolling through my feed, I'm not looking for martial arts when your ad pops up. But if that ad is compelling enough to create a curiosity, then I might look into it. I go to the opt-in form. Does it tell the story of, in our case, live your best life? Then I go to the website. Is it consistent? Then I look at your Google business page. Is the story consistent? Then I go look at your social media. Is it consistent? Consistency earns trust, is what I'm trying to share. I see this wonderful ad. It looks like the Matrix. Ooh, AI generated, chat GPT copy. Then I go to your website and it's some wiki thing, you know, homemade, not SEO optimized. Oh, okay. Then I go look at your Google business page and you got 3 reviews and the last review was a decade ago. Then I go to your social media, even worse. I look at the school owner's name at the website. Then I find his page and it's not private and he's there drinking a beer and smoking a cigar. You with me? So it's really important. I mean, it's not by coincidence, Bob. When I teach martial arts, there's no black beanie. There's no black t-shirt. This is a whole nother image. This is me outside of that, right? I'm the same person, but appearance wise, there's a different look and feel. And that's very, 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 no, very, very intentional. And I don't want to be the guy in the suit with the Rolex watch, with the jeans, doing this thing with the white shirt that everybody does. That's not me. So again, I think that's important when you talk about communicating your brand at social media. We know the power of influencers, right? I don't care what you say. That fight with Tyson and Jake Paul made a lot of money. That's entertainment. I don't think it's boxing on any kind of high level, but it's entertainment. So the ability to understand the power of social media and knowing that it's the first impression people get of your business and controlling that narrative with your heart and soul, oh, that's so important. So important. I can't express it enough. I can't express that enough. Cool? So what do we got coming up, Marco? And then we'll pull the winner at the end of this craziness. It's Time Life Freedom. Please, only 20 spots. You should have it on your calendar now. If your 2025 calendar isn't planned out, you better do it now. Every testing, every event, everything should be in there. Success is something you plan for. And one of the things that should be on your list, It's Time Life Freedom, where we're going to help you create the freedom you deserve as a small business owner and entrepreneur. Only 20 spots. Put the link in there, Marco. Get signed up now. And you have the tax write-off for 2024. Think about that, right? Book your plane, get all that stuff, and have the tax write-off. That's another big thing we're doing right now, Karth, at the end of the year, is we're spending all our money. Otherwise, I give it to the government. So whether it's in bonuses or whether it's right, people say, well, why do you do that? Well, because we're a cash in, cash out business. I have 30,000 come in hypothetically. I have 30,000 in expenses. That's all I need. Everything else, what, it's going to sit in a bank, not collecting interest or anything? No way. No way. I'd rather put my money in something like the stock market or a high, or an e-bank account that's doing what? I think 4% right now, right? Or something. I mean, if you're not making money with your money, you're missing the boat of owning a small business. And I can't tell you how many school owners, I have all this money in the bank. How much? Is it compounding interest? Are you making money off it? Well, no, but I like the peace of mind knowing I got 6 months reserve in the bank. I can do that with a credit card, with a line of credit that just sits there that I don't have to pay an annual fee on, right? It's sitting there. So if I need to pull money for any reason, there are resources. So that sitting money in a bank making you no money is not something I would encourage. So we're spending it at the end of the year. And It's Time Life Freedom should be one of those things. Ongoing, It's Time group mentoring. Me, Monique, Jason, and Marco. I love these guys. And I was so proud watching them at It's Time Life Purpose deliver. Deliver. Deliver? No, deliver. And to see the growth, of my team. So if you want somebody in your back pocket 24/7, 365 at your ready to text, ready to talk to, we cover it all from marketing, curriculum development, staff training, environment, you name it, because we are active martial arts school owners. We don't used to own a school and sit in a glass house hypothesizing about what you should do in today's real world. Because make no mistake, the train is different in 2024 than it was in 2000. It changes every year. And my coin saying that I'm going to leave you with is, Be the difference, make a difference. Your ability to adapt, your ability to pivot is what's going to not only help you survive through the ups and downs of being a small business owner, but will help you grow your business and sustain it. Let's thank our sponsors, Marco. All right. Tucson, Market Muscles, My Studio, Kids Love Life Skills, LC Accounting, Kin Creative. Check out all of their services. As I shared, my companies use all of these services. Cool. All right. So who's our winner today, Marco? Who's going to get an hour with me? Make sure you schedule with Marco after, okay? Reach out to him. Jesse. All right, Jesse. You win an hour, Jesse. So you and I get to hang out. Just come to the plate with all your questions. I got to see Jesse in Vegas after a bit of a time. And it was nice to see you, sir, and give you a hug, hang out with you. Get those questions ready. Let's do a tune-up before the new year, Jesse. I think that'd be very, very powerful. Cool? All right. So if you want to find me, you can follow me at Instagram. You can find me at YouTube. Our podcast is everywhere. Success Never Sleeps and Mindful Meditations. Join our Disruptor group. Follow me at Instagram. It's so great. Somebody was at It's Time Life Purpose that had been following me for 2 years before they signed up and came to one of my events. I'm grateful to offer information I think that's relevant, that's tested and proven, and, actively being used. Cool. All right. So I am Brannon Beliso. This has been Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, please have a happy Thanksgiving. Next week will be a rerun. I will not be here. Go out there, live your best life.